Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, January 19th, 2014 at 10:28 p.m. This is Meteorologist Eric Drewitz here with the New York State Regional Forecast Center with your latest forecast. So, first, let's look at some of the current conditions. Start off tonight's discussion. Generally, in the northeastern United States, a lot of temperatures in the mid to upper 20s to low 30s. Obviously, warmer as you go towards the shore, and colder inland. Tonight, we are having an Arctic front is going to be passing through the region. Right now, I would estimate that front to be about here. Because as you see here, the winds are, well, the temperature is warmer, and the winds are from like the southwest or so. Here, as you see, the winds are from the northwest, and over here more northerly. So that indicates the front to be about here. So as you see, temperatures around, in the northeastern United States, as I said, for the most part, mid to upper 20s to low 30s. But then right behind this Arctic front on the back end, you see temperatures like 13, 11, and then when you go a little more north, you see temperatures, single digits, and then minuses really far north. So next I'll show you the winds. So the current winds looks like, as I showed you before with the front, when I animate this, mostly southwesterly. But as you see at the very towards the top left of the screen, you see the winds turning more northwesterly, indicating the cold front, because that's going to be passing through the region. And then I'll show you the jet stream. As you see, there's a big trough that's going to be coming into the region when I animate the jet stream, which is this area right over here. Now, next, I'm gonna look at the current radar. Unfortunately, the Montague radar is down. The National Weather Service's radar in Montague, New York. So Binghamton and Albany is the best I can do. So this is showing I'm not going to really rely on this radar to get the reflectivity, because, again, it's farther away. If the Montague radar was in service right now, I would. But this is a very low resolution right now, considering this radar is really far away. But anyway, you could see a band. Looks like there might start to be some lake effect enhancement over in the Adams, Watertown, Jefferson County area, according to the Binghamton radar. And if I go bring up the Albany radar, when I bring up the Albany radar, we'll see if I could see any with the inland extent or anything to the east. Just wait for it to load. Doesn't look like really picking up on anything. Doesn't really look like it's picking up on anything because it's kind of far away. So I guess to start off, we could look at that's strange. We'll look at the I guess the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness on the on the scale of the continental United States, to show you what the latest trough ridge patterns are looking like. So here at the top, this is the 0Z run of the NAM today. So initialized at 0Z or 7 p.m. today. So this run was pretty recent. The 534 line is a little bit south of Oswego, as I showed you in my previous broadcast. It doesn't really look like we're having a big trough ridge pattern right now. It looks like a lot of the cold air is locked up here, but as I showed you though, there's a good height gradient here, so there's a good temperature gradient over this region. So when I animate this, you'll see the trough kind of moving southward across the central and eastern United States, and then as you see, it really dips down in the 510 lines in central Illinois. The 5 Oswego looks like it's just south of the 504 line. Long Island, New York City, that was like right to the northwest is the 522 line, and when I animate this some more, 504 line's now south of Oswego. 522 line looks like it's on the eastern end of Long Island, and when I animate this more, it looks like the trough is going to just persist here. Thickness is about going to be staying the same, but now if you look to the west, it looks like the trough is forming a positively axis trough, more defined positive axis trough. As I said, that means a positive axis trough is when you draw a line through the vertex of the trough. Essentially, it has a positive slope. So that looks like it's going to be deepening to the west, which it does, because now the 498 line is just south of Oswego. Looks like it's about Cortland area, a little bit south Syracuse. 504 lines just north and west of Long Island, New York City. 510 lines just off the coast of the South Shore. So now looking at the 18Z GFS run, so the 1 p.m. run today. As you see, all the cold air around 0Z today, similar deal, all locked up in like Canada and the interior portions of northeastern United States. But as you see, there's more deepening to the west. Actually, it looks like there's some pretty good deepening right over here, along Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas. And as you see, there's significant deepening. This is at 12Z on Tuesday. The 510 line is just south of Oswego. The 504 line is just to the north. For Long Island in the city, it looks like the 522 line is just to the northwest, just like the NAM had it. And now this is 6Z Wednesday. The 498 line is south of Oswego. I believe 6Z Wednesday with the NAM. Yeah, the 498 line is still north, so the GFS is trending colder than the NAM, because the 504 line was just south of Oswego for the NAM, and then the GFS has the 498 line just south of Oswego at 6Z Wednesday. So as I fast forward in time, it looks like it's staying about the same. Pretty much getting colder. You see there's good gradients over here in this portion, over in the the Appalachian and central United States around the Mason-Dixon line. There's some good height and temperature gradients. And as you see, also to the west this time, it looks like the trough is forming a good positive axis. The 492 line is just north of Oswego. 498 actually looks like it's going pretty much almost just a little bit south of Binghamton. The 504 line is right off the south shore of Long Island in the ocean. And when I look forward, when I look more forward in time, All right, there we go. 12Z Thursday. The 492 line is actually just like pretty much over Oswego, just to the south a little bit. The 504 line again, right off the coast of the island. When I animate farther, the 492, the area where the 492, or the area where the 1,500 millibar thickness is less than 4,920 meters, it shrinks because now it's only this big. But the trough looks like it deepens a bit though, because the 498 line moves more south. And pretty much now at 6Z Friday, the 498 line is just over pretty much the very south shore of Connecticut and over the Long Island Sound. Although, as you see, trough moving this way, the 498 line now is like just to the west of Oswego. And when I animate this farther, it looks like the trough will persist, but it will weaken. However, this is 18Z Saturday. I could see rapid strength and deepening again, as you see, because now the trough deepens again. Good gradients, moving south, positive axis. So as I animate farther, deepening trough again. It looks like the cold air will persist until about 6Z Wednesday. However, take this with a grain of salt, because this is really far out. And then it pretty much looks like the cold air is going to be coming back to the region. Now this is the 12Z run of the European or the ECMWF model. Sorry. So as you see, the trough persistent, fairly strong. And then it kind of weakens, the trough weakens, but as the Arctic front passes through, the trough really deepens. The 498 line is at 6Z Wednesday, a little bit south of Binghamton. 504 is right to the northwest of New York City. 510 is like right over the north and south fork of Long Island. And when I animate this more, it looks like the trough is going to be staying pretty much consistent. I mean, maybe weakening a little bit over the northeastern United States, but if you see to our west over there, it looks like it's strengthening pretty good. Good positive tilt, and then it's bringing around this way, so it'll deepen when it moves towards the east. It'll swing around and it'll deepen in the east. And now back at 6Z Friday, it looks like the 498 line is south of Binghamton. And then Long Island's in between the 504 and 510 line. And as I animate this out again, it looked like the trough weakened, but now 6Z Saturday, it looks like it's really coming back pretty strong over the central United States. And then moving into our region, and 18Z Sunday, it looks like Long Island's just south of the 516 line, and Oswego looks like it's just south of the 498 line, and then it'll swing around. And it looks like the trough, unlike the GFS, it looks like had it, as I said, take it with a grain of salt, because pretty much, over like 100 hours out. But the European has the long range trending colder than the GFS. So yeah, that's basically what the trough ridge patterns look like. What they look like they're going to be over the next few days. I guess to give you another idea, let's look at the 2-meter temps across the continental United States. We'll start off with the 0Z NAM. Pretty much, well, first of all, this red line here is 32 degrees, so the freezing line as usual. As you see, we got this very, very cold air up here in Canada. Single digits, minuses, minus 20s, minus 30s. So very cold. And this will push southeastward into our region. Because as I animate out, this is 12Z Monday, and as you see, looks like the cold air, like the Arctic front's pretty much going to be passing through, but the cold air is pretty much, like the real cold air is right on our doorstep. and it's going to be still moving to the southeast. And as you see now, the freezing line's really pushing fast towards the coast. This is 0Z Tuesday or 7 p.m. Monday, and it looks like temperatures across, the interior northeastern United States are going to be in the teens, the lower teens, upper single digits. Still Long Island, mid 30s, but that'll change by 12Z Tuesday. It looks like temperatures on the island now are going to be in the upper teens to lower 20s. And also now it looks like in the interior northeastern United States, it looks like a lot of single digits and minuses, even a few minus 10s across the higher elevations and the really interior parts. And then this is 0Z Wednesday, same kind of deal. Long Island looks like it's going to be in the teens, and for the most part. And again, interior northeastern United States, more so single digits and minuses. Now this is 12Z Wednesday, so 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. Actually, it looks like Long Island's going to be in the lower teens to upper single digits. In the interior. Again, more so, most of the region actually, single digits and minuses, with probably minuses in the Pine Barrens because of radiational cooling. And as you see, the cold air will persist over the region, and then it looks like it's going to be, as I said, as the deepening in the west, it looks like it's going to be swinging back to the east from the west. As you see over here in the Dakotas, temperatures in the in North Dakota minus 20s to minus 25, so almost minus 30. So that's some really cold air right there. Okay, now to take a look at the 18Z GFS. As you see again, initialized, the cold air's up here in Canada. It's going to move to our way, and then as I animate it, you'll see the cold temperatures moving into the region. Although the GFS looks like it's trending colder, this is 12Z Tuesday morning, 7 a.m. Tuesday. Looks like, teens across like the lower Hudson Valley, just northwest New York City. Looks like Long Island and the Jersey Shore, low 20s. Interior regions, single digits, and then in the really interior regions, minuses, even minus teens in some spots. And the higher elevations too. This is now 0Z Wednesday or 7 p.m. Tuesday evening, and it looks like the same kind of deal. Upper teens, lower 20s for the island and the city. Interior portions, more so single digits, minuses, and even some minus teens in some spots. And as I fast forward in time, the cold air looks like it's going to be staying in place. This is 6Z Friday. As I showed you, the cold air, this is at 18Z Thursday. The cold air looks like it's going to be pushing to the east, moving from the northwest, which it does so, because as you see it moving back into our region. By 12Z Friday morning, a lot of places in the single digits, and in really interior portions in northern New York State and, northwestern Maine and northern Vermont and New Hampshire. It looks like it's going to be in the minuses to even some minus teens at some spots. As you see, it's generally warmer in the middle of the country. In the west, it's warmer, except for the higher elevations, and colder in the east with this trough ridge pattern. And as you see now, as I showed you, the trough weakens, but as it said in the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness, the trough now is coming back, and now it's in our region again, and it generally looks like it's staying cold for the most part, although again this is like 300 hours out, but it looks like it's warming up. But I remember when we looked at the trough, and going back to looking at the trough and ridge patterns, the GFS and the European did not agree after a certain time frame. So really don't take that really take that with a grain of salt, because if they don't agree, and it's over like 200 hours out especially, it's really pointless. So you see the 12Z ECMWF has the cold air coming into our region. I remember, I believe last night when I looked at the Euro, it was trending colder than everywhere else. But this is, let's go back to 18Z Monday. So 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. It looks like for most of upstate New York, temperatures in the the upper teens to lower 20s across central New York, western New York. Long Island actually looks like it could be in the low 40s to upper 30s in spots, but as time progresses, by 6C Tuesday or 1 a.m. Tuesday morning, interior northeastern United States, a lot of minuses and single digits, and Long Island, will get down into the upper 20s, and as I fast forward more, Long Island at 12Z is going to be, Long Island City is going to be in the lower 20s, and actually, just like I said, the European's trending colder. As you see in the very interior portions and the higher elevations, minus teens, and even like around here in the middle of Adirondack Park, a minus 20. A lot of single digits and minuses across the interior portions. Around the island, as I said, in the shores, generally upper teens, lower 20s, so it's going to be pretty cold Tuesday morning, so bundle up. And as I fast forward in time, this is around when the high temperatures are supposed to be for Tuesday, because this is 18Z or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you see a lot of up here in the interior, minuses, single digits across central New York, lower 20s, upper teens for the coast. And as I animate this further, this is 7 p.m. Tuesday evening or 0Z Wednesday, and again, it's going to be very cold. Minus in the interior, minuses, single digits, minus teens along the coast, lower 20s to upper teens, and this is 6C Wednesday. Where was that? 6Z Wednesday. There we go. This is 6Z Wednesday, and as you see, it's going to be frigid. Again, looks like, over the very interior portions and the higher elevations, minus teens to even some minus 20s in some spots, isolated. A lot of single digits and single digit minuses across the interior. Single digits and actually lower teens going down to the coast. So it's going to be really frigid that morning. And then 12Z Wednesday. Again, minus 20s. It looks like a lot of minus teens and 20s in the very interior portions and the higher elevations. Some minus 25s, some minus 30s around here. Really cold up here. Single digits and minus upper minus teens in the. And what I mean by upper, like closer to minus 10 than minus 20. Upper minus teens in the minus single digits and single digits in the interiors, and then lower teens to upper single digits along the coast. I predict that I'm thinking the Pine Barrens on Long Island, West Hampton, that area is going to see, because of radiational cooling, more so single digits and even maybe some minuses in that area. So when I fast forward, cold air persists, as I showed you. The trough weekends in the east a little bit. This is 18Z Thursday, but the cold air is going to be rapidly advancing from the northwest over the central United States back into our region in the northeast, which it does so. And this is 12Z Friday, and the temperatures are still very, very cold. Minus teens, 20s, single digits, teens, same thing. And cold air deepens again. Unlike the GFS has it, the Euro has it staying really cold throughout the time frame, and it looks like the cold pattern, according to Euro, is going to be lasting the rest of January. So we'll look at this now at a smaller scale. so you guys could see better across our region instead of just the United States, the continental United States. So this is I'm gonna run through this quick because we just looked at this, but this is the 0Z NAM again. This is 12Z Tuesday. As you see, the Arctic air is right over us, 5 degrees over Oswego. Looks like for Long Island, towards the city, western Long Island, upper teens to lower 20s on the eastern ends. Interior more so, like in the interior northeast United States, more so like minus 10s, upper minus teens. And then this is 18Z on Tuesday, so 1 p.m. Tuesday. The highs look like they're going to be in the single digits for most of central and western New York. Up in the Adirondacks, looks like it's going to be mostly in the lower single digits to even some sub-zero up by St. Lawrence County. Hudson Valley, Albany area, Capital District, looks like it'll be lower teens to upper single digits, and lower Hudson Valley, upper teens. Actually, upper teens for also the city and Long Island for most spots, except for the very east end. Looks like it could be in the low 20s due to it being around the ocean. And 0Z Wednesday, 6Z Wednesday, 12Z Wednesday. The cold air really starts to come back in the region. Looks like the temperatures over Lake Ontario don't look like they're going to get even that warm in the warmer spots. Looks like it'll be upper single digits in the warmer spots. Looks like 0 pretty much right over Oswego. You got your minus teens and 20s up there in Quebec, and you have a lot of upper minus teens in the interior northeastern United States. So as you see, the cold air persists and doesn't move anywhere. And this is the 18Z GFS. I'm only going to go to 168 hours out because, pretty much, like I say, I don't like going that far out. So, as you see, the cold air is really advancing in our region. 6Z Wednesday, single digits to almost down the coast. Lower teens pretty much around the coast. And as I look further and further, again, looks like it's going to still stay very, very, very cold. The trough will weaken a little bit because now you see mostly teens across the interior part of New York State, mostly lower teens to upper teens, but then as you see, trough really weakens now, but moves back into our region by 18Z Sunday. So again, this is the Euro. Cold air moves into our region again. Minus. This is 12Z Wednesday. Looks like it's going to be the coldest then. Looks like lower teens to upper single digits around the coastal regions. Lower single digits in the lower Hudson Valley, Westchester, Orange County area. Central New York, a lot of single digits minuses. Adirondacks and the very interior portions, basically north of the Capital District. Minus teens. Minus 20, even some lower minus 20s isolated in the Adirondack Mountains and the Green Mountains. So as I animate forward in time, the cold air stays around. It weakened a little bit, but then it moves back in pretty quickly by 12Z Sunday. So now let's look at the 1,000 to 850 millibar average relative humidity. Areas actually east. This is the 0Z NAM, and areas east of Lake Ontario are going to be actually in the 90, looks like 90 to 100% relative humidity. So very moist. Good setup for lake effect snow, lake effect enhancement after this Arctic front moves in. It looks like 6Z tonight, so 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. Most of central western New York, Adirondack Park is going to be in the 90 to 100% range, so very good for lake effect snow. After the Arctic front passes through, there's more the long axis parallel bands are going to be turning into more of a short axis parallel. So the lap bands will be turning into the slap bands for those meteorologists out there. Anyway, so as I move forward in time, this is 12Z tomorrow morning or 7 a.m. Still a lot of areas around the southeastern shores of Lake Ontario, 90 to 100% range. Over here in northern Jefferson County, still 80 to 90% range, so still pretty moist. And as we go through the day, 18Z, I'd expect it to be drier, because it's more humid at night in humidity patterns during the day than it is during the peak hours of the day. So southeastern shores of Lake Ontario looks like mostly in still the 80 to 90% range, which is good. Jefferson County looks like it could be in the 70 to 80% range. Very like St. Lawrence County in the very northern tip of Jefferson looks like it could be in the 40 to 70, which is average. And then areas of in central New York, a little bit south of Lake Ontario, still in the 90 to 100% range. So as I fast forward, 0Z Tuesday, humidity is increasing. Most of central New York is going to be in the 80 to 90 range, which is good. And as I fast forward, it looks like tomorrow night won't be as humid. Wednesday, still like not as humid, but pretty humid. And I'll take a look at the 18Z GFS. The European, by the way, does not have this feature, which is why it's not on there. And so 6Z, again, 1 a.m. tonight, it looks like 90 to 100% relative humidity for all of central New York and areas east and south of Lake Ontario. 12Z Monday, still very humid everywhere. Central New York, western New York, eastern parts east of Lake Ontario and south, still 90 to 100% range. And 18Z Monday or tomorrow at 1 o'clock, still a good portion on the windward. On the east side, still 90 to 100%, and still areas, central New York on the east side, western New York, majority looks like it's still in the 80 to 90%, which is still pretty humid, and it stays humid throughout. Humidity builds back in. This is 12Z Wednesday. A lot of areas in the 80 to 90 range, and some in the 90 to 100 range across the region. Looks like just around here, looks like Oswego is pretty much right in the middle of actually the 90 to 100 range, which hints at hopefully the band of lake effect snow being over us. And then getting the humidity is increasing more so now. It's most of the regions in the 90 to 100 range, although Jefferson County, northern Oswego, looks like it'll be more in the 80 to 90 range, but that's still fine for lake effect snow, and it stays humid throughout the region. As you see, dry airs tried to work in, but it failed. So next we'll look at the 10 meter winds in the form of streamlines. So this is the 0Z NAM, and pretty much you see at initialized 0Z today, you see southwesterly winds. I'll make this easier for you guys to see, but you see southwesterly winds, southwesterly across the northeastern United States. But at 6Z Monday or 1 a.m. tonight, you see that that Arctic front actually right over here. About looks like. Because as you see on the southeast side, the streamlines are still, southwesterly, southwesterly. But then on the northwest side, you see they're more so winds coming out of the northwest. So that's where the Arctic front, that's indication of the cold front. And as you see, the Arctic front by 12Z Mondays passed through our region for the most part. It looks like it's just around the Syracuse area, a little bit south Syracuse. We get that more northerly to northwesterly flow over the region. Long Island and New York City still in the southerly flow, southwesterly flow, pretty good, but that time will change. As I showed you in the temperatures before, it was in the teens over here in Oswego, like upper teens, lower 20s in Oswego and Syracuse, and in Long Island and New York City still in like the 40s, which hints at the cold front didn't get to there yet, but past us. So this is by 18Z Monday. It looks like the front is right on the doorstep of the island in the city. As you see, the winds are changing more so because it's southwesterly here. It turns to more of a westerly as you go a little bit more north. There's a west-southwesterly, and then right to the north of the city, a little bit about Binghamton, so about 100 to 150 miles north in New York City. You have the front, and here to the north, well south of Oswego and Syracuse now, you got the northwest winds. So this is now 0Z Tuesday, and as you see now, the front moved out of our area, and now everyone's getting that north to northwesterly flow across the region, and that persists. Northwesterly winds, which is what's keeping it cold across the region for the next few days. Again, this is the 18Z GFS. Same thing. This is 6Z Monday, although the GFS looks like by 1 a.m. tonight, it's going to have the front a little bit more to the south, but not by much. And as you see, the front by 12Z is still in a similar spot, a little bit south of Syracuse, because now Oswego and areas on the South Shore of Lake Ontario are getting that northerly flow, which when this front passes through, the lap bands will turn into the slat bands, so the long axis bands will turn into short axis, and then Oswego will be seeing more snow. And as you see, the north to northwest winds persist for a while, and across the region. And now this is the 12Z European. So 6Z, again, the front looks like it's going to be in the same spot as it was. Northwesterly flow to the north, southwesterly to the south. And this is 18Z Monday. It looks like the front is just over the Monticello area, Sullivan County. Looks like New York City is starting to get more of that westerly flow, but then as we go into 0Z Tuesday, it's starting to get more of that northwesterly flow. And 12Z Tuesday, Long Island and the city is both getting a northerly flow, which is why, again, the temperatures are much colder 12Z Tuesday than they are 12Z Monday. This is these are the 850 millibar winds we'll look at next. So this is basically the wind speed and direction across the continental United States. 850 millibars, which is about a mile above sea level. So this is the 0Z NAM, and as you see, it looks like based on this map, the cold front looks like to be about here, pushing to our region. Now, just change the color on there. So, yeah, so the cold front is going to be moving towards our region. And as you see, the winds are going to be shifting from more of a southwesterly to northwesterly flow at 850. Cold air advection, which I'll get to later. And by 0Z Tuesday is when the winds at 850 look like they're really getting into a good northwesterly pattern, according to the NAM. The 18Z GFS, same deal. Starts off southwesterly. 0Z Tuesday, it looks more northwesterly. Cold air advection across the area. And then 12Z European run, same kind of deal. Wind shifting from a southwesterly to a northwesterly over the region. So let's take a look at, since I mentioned about the cold air advection, let's take a look at the models. So let's look at the NAM 850 millibar temperatures, winds and heights across the northeastern United States. Sorry, just gotta catch my breath for a sec. Okay, so this is the NAM at 0Z again. This is at 1 a.m. So 6Z tonight, 1 a.m. Looks like, Lake Ontario, the people on the Owls are going to be getting some good long axis bands, according to just basing it on the winds, with that nice westerly flow across Lake Ontario. But as I fast forward in time, though, you see more of that northwesterly flow, more of that cold air advection to our northwest coming down from Canada into the northeastern United States. And as I fast forward some more in time, it looks like this is 10 a.m. tomorrow. It looks like still a good westerly flow. Looks like we have some diffluence, some upper level divergence along the southern tier, which is something to keep in mind and keep in consideration. But as you see now, we're going to have some very strong cold advection starting at around 7 p.m. or 0Z tomorrow night. You got that nice brisk westerly wind across the northeastern United States for the whole part by 7 p.m. tomorrow. And as you see, the temps at 850 are going to just get colder and colder, and cold air advection is going to be persistent and dominate the northeast. So now I'll go to the GFS 850 wind. And so this is in the this is the 18Z run. So just wait for that to load for a sec. But it pretty much on AccuWeather Pro looked like it was in agreement with the NAM. Cold air advection looks like, again, it's going to be very dominant for most of the northeastern United States by 7 p.m. tomorrow or 0Z tomorrow night. And it's going to persist and dominate the region for about the next week until it looks like some warm air advection starts Friday at 18Z or 1 p.m. However, when I fast forward in time, the cold air advection comes back. Then it kind of goes back to some weak warm air advection on Wednesday. the 29th, but that's 240 hours out, so that's pretty much useless. So I guess let's look at the 4-kilometer high-res NAM, the 0Z run. So here's the reflectivity. So it looks like across the northeastern United States, after the synoptic system pulls out, we're going to have some lake effect enhancement. As you see, this is at 9Z tomorrow morning, or 4 a.m. You got a good long axis band across Lake Ontario because you got that nice westerly flow, and it looks like according to the 4-kilometer high-res NAM, reflectivity is about 25 to 30 dBZs for a lot of the region, although the little speck in Jefferson County and eastern Jefferson County looks like 30 to 35 dBZs, so relatively moderate to heavy snow across the region, although this is now 10Z, so just an hour later. The band moved more south. It's pretty much right north of Oswego. Looks like Oswego is on the borderline between at about 20 dBZs. It looks like the band strengthened a little bit by 10Z tomorrow morning. As it moves southward, most of the band is 25 to 30 dBZs, but over there's the spec of 30 to 35 dBZs moved down to southern Jefferson County to almost in northern Oswego County, and it got bigger. So as you fast forward in time now, the band weakened a little bit, but still is holding intact pretty good over Oswego. Looks like we're going to be seeing about 25 to 30 dBZs at about 11Z tomorrow. So then it looks like most of it, though, is going to be 20 to 25 dBZs, and as we move forward in time, looks like the band looks like we're going to get some short axis parallel around 12Z tomorrow. Now it looks like the band pretty much died out, but a lot of the south shore of Lake Ontario is going to be receive more snow, but the intensity is not going to be as big because it looks like the most intense part is going to be about 20 to 25 dBZs. However, it's covering a greater area, which I would expect. And then as we move forward in time, according to the 4-kilometer high-res NAM, it doesn't really look like much is going to happen. Just some scattered snow showers. And when I look at the 2-meter temps at a higher resolution, this is at 1Z tonight, so this was back at 8 o'clock. As you see, temperatures in the 20s, in the upper 20s in central New York to lower 30s in Long Island, New York City. And as I animate this, this is 9Z. You'll see the really cold air almost into our region. It looks like it's single digits are in very southern Canada. Cold air is going to be pushing south into our region overnight as this Arctic front pulls through. And this is now at 17Z tomorrow. As you see the temperature, well, 18Z. As you see the temperature actually is warmer now at almost 5Z than it is at 18Z, which is kind of odd usually because temperature is supposed to be warmer at like 1 in the afternoon than it is around midnight, 11 o'clock to midnight. So as I move forward in time, it's going to get really cold. This is now 10Z on Tuesday. A lot of minuses across the region in the interior northeastern United States. A lot of single digits for most of central New York, Capital District, coast of Maine. A lot of lower teens for the lower Hudson Valleys, up by and going up by Boston and upper teens to lower 20s for the island and the Jersey coast. And this is as you see now, this is 11Z. This is 12Z on Tuesday. Again, really cold temperatures. Minuses in a lot of central New York, interior United States. Again, a lot of single digits. Central western New York, in the coast of Maine. Teens, lower teens in the lower Hudson Valley, upper teens to lower 20s on the island, although Pine Barrens expects to be colder because of radiational cooling. And if you look to our north, you're going to see some really cold temperatures, minus 20s in a lot of southern Canada. And as I animate forward more, the cold air looks like, as animated as the cold air looks like it's going to be persisting in our region and not leaving. This is actually at 12Z on Wednesday, and it looks like a lot of central New York, the Catskills, Adirondacks are going to be below zero. Some places around minus 10, minus 13. A lot of western New York, it looks like it's going to be around zero. Long Island's looking like it's going to be in the upper single digits to lower teens, and the lower Hudson Valley, lower single digits to around zero. So now we're going to look at let's look at the total QPF just to see what it looks like. So this is at 16Z Monday, so this is noon. This is 11 o'clock Monday, 11 a.m. Looks like some places in the tug could receive about between a quarter and a half an inch of liquid precipitation. And as I animate this out more, you'll see a lot of this is now by Wednesday at 12Z. So a lot of south and east of Lake Ontario getting at least a tenth to a quarter of an inch of precipitation in the form of snow. Actually, if I go back and let's look at the NAM. So this is the top left is the 2 meter temperatures. The pink line is 32 degree line. This top right box here is the 3-hour QPF. Bottom right is total QPF, and bottom left is the 10 meter winds with streamlines for direction, and the speed is in knots. So this is at 0Z today. As you see, the sorry, I just gotta catch my breath. As you see, 32 degree line is just north and west of New York City. Goes right through the middle of Westchester, and as I animate it out, it's pushing. The cold air is pushing into the region, but as you see, this is now 18Z tomorrow. Above freezing temperatures still around southeastern New York, Long Island, New York City, but well below freezing upstate. And then now this is 12Z on Tuesday. A lot of minuses and single digits upstate to lower 20s, upper teens across the island, and lower teens to upper single digits across the Hudson Valley, Catskill regions. As you see, again, you can see the on the winds. This is at 15Z on Monday, but as you can see, the winds, the cold front looks like it's going to be just around here, the Arctic front, and it's going to be pushing more southward because you see the winds on the south side are still from the southwest or so, the west-southwest, but on the north side, they're more from the north to northwest. and this, as I said, this cold front is going to be pushing more to the southeast. And as I animated out, you see the Long Island, New York City is getting into more of that north to northwesterly flow as the 32-degree line moves offshore and the colder temperatures start to circulate in from the north. So cold air persists. It actually gets really cold. It looks like around, this is 12Z on Wednesday, 7 a.m. Wednesday. A lot of single digits for down to the islands. A lot of minuses upstate, central New York, Catskills minuses, minus 10s in the Adirondacks. And if you look at the bottom right-hand screen, it looks like total QPF, getting to be about between 1/4 and 1/2 inch in some spots east of Lake Ontario, and like northeast Oswego, southeast Jefferson counties. So let's actually now take it back a notch and look at the progression charts, the prog charts. So this is the latest surface analysis brought by the NOAA Aviation Digital Data Service. So as you see, you got that Arctic front up here in southern Canada. This was at 1:35 UTC. So 8:35 this evening. So you got the Arctic front up here. It's going to be moving south. It looks like we got a low pressure system here, so that's what's causing the southwesterly flow over the northeastern United States, and that's what's pushing as this low moves to the northeast, as lows do. Cold air will be coming in behind it, so that's what will be giving it more of its northerly flow. And as you see here, there's going to be there's a strong high pressure system. Actually, looks like a strong high pressure system to the west over the western United States, with pressures of 1,030 to 1,032 millibars, which is going to circulate in because air flows clockwise around a high, so it's going to circulate even some more cold air, help the cold air circulate into the eastern United States. And I think that's actually about to wrap up my broadcast. It's been about an hour. Shout out to Nick Zalesko, my buddy from University of Illinois, for watching my videos and telling me he enjoys them. Shout out to Christian Sutter, another one of my friends from University of Illinois. Same deal. He keeps posted to my forecast. Shout out to James Trim of Oswego. Keep it on, dude. Keep showing your support. I appreciate it. Shout out to Denise Schwartz for always being a big fan of my forecasts and videos since the beginning. Shout out to Jane Fenton, same reason. Really appreciate the support, guys. Shout out to Jake Mulholland. Again, I appreciate support. And I hope you guys found this video to be helpful. Again, stay posted to the northeastern, to the wow, it's been a long broadcast. Stay posted to the New York State Regional Forecast Center for your latest forecasts, updates, and photos. This is Chief Meteorologist Eric Drewitz here, signing off for tonight. Again, be careful in the cold, guys, because it's going to be another Arctic blast. Be sure to bundle up when you go outside. Limit your time outdoors for frostbite, and hypothermia. Um, be careful on the roads out there and areas in central New York and that are going to get hit with lake effect snow and that have already been hit. So again, I appreciate the support. Be careful. This is meteorologist Eric Drewitz of the New York State Regional Forecast Center signing off for tonight. Good night, everybody.